So it looks like Al Franken and John Conyers have been a sacrificial lamb for the Democratic Party. You heard it. They threw them both under the bus. I'm sure they pulled them to the side and said, look here, man, y'all gonna have to take one for the team. You understand that? Because in 2018, we're gonna be at war with the Republicans. And how are we gonna play partisan politics if we're gonna look like hypocrites that we are? See, they can't go with their partisan politics plan if they have those two on board. So of course, they set the stage so they can, of course, wear the white hats. And it didn't look like Al Franken was too on board today when he gave his speech. It looked like he wanted to just straight come out like, look, man, I ain't agree with none of this. They throwing me under the bus, but since I gotta retire, I'm gonna go ahead and take one for the team. He didn't admit that he was wrong. He ain't do nothing. He just said, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down, even though this stuff was exaggerated and all of that goodies. But anyway, this whole thing with sexual assault, I'm a little concerned about it. Of course, they're going to try to go right back to the well. Well, Donald Trump, during the campaign, 8,000 women came out that we had never heard of, didn't make any type of documentation. There's no verification of them ever being sexually assaulted by Donald Trump, but for whatever reason, we believe all 8,000 of them. And then Roy Moore apparently sexually molested 1,500 young people, and they're going to beat that horse to death because that's what they do. And see, here's the problem with that. When you're dealing with the Democrats, they have a record of unfortunately doing things that are questionable when it comes to winning elections. And it's sad because when it comes to something so serious as sexual assault, you would want to believe that it is totally beneath the Democrats, totally beneath the liberal media when it comes down to maybe going and getting a couple people who might say, you know what, I was walking down the hall one day and he looked at me and winked and said, how's your day going? And I was like, oh, I can't believe you would do that to me. I felt so dirty. Now, to think that they wouldn't go and do something like that, I don't think it's beneath them. See, they have set a standard when it comes to corrupt politics and dirty campaigning. I thought it was beneath them to send people into the Trump campaign and start violence and then blame it on Trump. I thought it was beneath them to hijack the DNC and sabotage Bernie Sanders' campaign. Yeah. I thought it was beneath them to comprise a fake Russian dossier that stemmed an investigation against their opponent in order to, I guess, undermine him, surveil him, and attempt to even stage a coup. I thought it was beneath them, but we found out that it isn't. So why would we think that in the case of Roy Moore, that we should just take everybody's word? Now, I'm not saying that we should doubt everyone who says these type of things, but I think it would be more beneficial and believable if these type of accusations did not come out for whatever reason during an election after many, many, many years. And when you see the dirty tricks of the Democrats and what they do, you just can't put it past it. Along with the media that have assisted them in every turn to try to undermine Donald Trump, to try to verify and over-exaggerate every little allegation that comes up. When you see stuff like that, there's no wonder that the people in Alabama is going, whatever. I'm not buying it. And see, it's funny how these things come out right at a time where you cannot prove it or disprove it. And that's the whole plan. It's let's drop this information out there and leave it up in the minds of the public. Public opinion. See, we know that these women can't prove it, and we know that Judge Moore can't prove it or disprove it. But at the same time, let's see how the media can assist us with polluting the minds and convincing the general public to say, hey, they said it, it must be true. Now, here's the danger in that. You have to be careful when you're dealing with this big wave and this big move when it comes to sexual assault and how hypersensitive our society is becoming, because you don't ever want to weaponize something like that. We know that the Democrats are always looking for some way to weaponize something to mar and destroy their opponent. They fight dirty. They're not going to say, you know what, we're going to beat you on policy. They're not going to say, you know what, we're going to beat you on giving a good strategic plan to the American people of what we can do. No, what they're going to do is they're going to try to take advantage of people's emotions. They're going to try to come up with social issues, and they're going to say things like, you know what, everybody, if you support the Republican Party, what you're really doing is supporting a whole bunch of sexual assaulters and misogynists. That's what you're supporting. Yeah, they're not going to say you're supporting a party that makes sense and comes up with good policies that will benefit the American people. It's always going to go down to somebody in America getting violated or abused or discriminated against. I mean, would it be foolish to think that they would not weaponize something like sexual allegations if this works? If they can convince a large majority of voters that all you have to do is just accuse someone of sexual assault, not prove it, just accuse them. Don't you think they would just keep going back to the well on that every single year, just like they go back to the well on all the other stuff? Everybody's a racist. We already know what's coming. I don't care who runs. If I ran for the Republican Party candidacy, they will call me a racist. I'm sure. They will find racism where racism doesn't exist. They'll be like, you know what? Black people are always being persecuted by the Republican Party because they're all racist. They will be like, you know what? If you got a dog, this white dog privilege, look at that. Hey, Caesar, look at that. White dog privilege. Look at him. He gets to sleep in the bed, and the brown dog of color, he has to sleep on the floor. And the white dog can walk down the street and nobody walks on the other side because they're afraid of the white dog. But with the big brown dog, everybody walks on the other side of the street because they're like, oh, he looks violent, he looks angry. And the white dog gets to eat Iams dog food because he has white dog privilege. But the brown dog has to eat Alpo. Yeah. They will find a way to come up with some racist, some type of allegation, some type of discrimination, even when there is none. That's what they do. They look for stuff like that. And if we embrace this whole movement of simply saying whatever somebody says, an allegation, can't prove it, can't disprove it. Should we just say, you know what, let's ruin a whole human being's life based off of an allegation? Should we not be least skeptical to say, whoa, wait a minute now, where'd all these allegations coming from? Where were you guys at? Why'd you wait 30-something years to just come out of nowhere at the very end of an election that at this point looks like the Democrats are losing? Whenever the Democrats are involved and whenever they're losing, I just don't put it past them when it comes to fighting dirty. So I pray and hope that any woman that would participate in allowing herself to be used by a political party for political gain, whatever they're offering, whatever they're saying, it's not worth ruining somebody's life. But at the same time, if there are men who have violated these things, men of power who say, you know what, man, I am senator or congressman, whatever, come here and let me conduct this meeting in my drawers. And what, you got a problem with that? I can't conduct a meeting in my drawers? You better ask somebody. Anyway, so what's on the agenda for tomorrow? If they're doing stuff like that, absolutely, they need to be held accountable. And with Al Franken and John, whatever his last name is, those guys, there was a lot of stuff you can say, yeah, that's evidence. We saw you with the hands and all that, and then we got records of money out there. Those are legitimate things where you can say there's some substantial evidence. But with Roy Moore, it's just accusations. No way to prove it, no way to disprove it. But we're going to throw it out in the court of public opinion and leave it up to the media, which we all know they're fair and non-biased, right? Yeah. So, so let's see what happens with this moving forward. But I caution America not to just jump the gun and say, you know what? If somebody says it, it must be true, because that puts everybody in jeopardy and it just undermines the justice system and due process. I can just go up and say, man, you know what? And then why don't men? This was funny if you ever think about this. Do men ever get sexually harassed? Is it possible? Is it possible to like sexually assault a man? I'm not sure. I don't know. Have you ever met a fellas? I'm talking to the fellas for a second. Fellas, have you ever had one of your friends, male friends, run up to you and say, man, you never believe what happened. I walked in here. This girl was looking at my butt. She squeezed my butt. And it wasn't no, oops, I accidentally bumped your butt. She got a whole handful and I was offended. I was offended because I am not a piece of meat, okay? I'm a human being. I have intelligence. I want people to see what's in my head and not what's in my body. I've never seen a man say that. And so I wonder, I'm like, can men actually be sexually harassed? Or, it's crazy. I'm sure somebody out there probably was like, I can't believe she said that to me. I'm offended. But on an average, it usually happens, unfortunately, to women. But that's not to say that every single time someone says that he looked at me. Because see, when you weaponize this politically, it can go way out into left field. It can simply be, this guy walked in one day, complimented me about my dress. I was offended just by the way he said it. It can be, I'm almost afraid to even ask people. How can you ask somebody out nowadays? Hey, Janet, I'm going to record this, so just in case it ever comes back to bite me. But I'm about to ask you out, but I think we need to have it on tape, okay? All right, you okay with that? That's what it's going to end up coming down to, because if we just start saying every time somebody says something happened, we just got to go ahead and take it to the bank, that's very dangerous and reckless for our democracy, for due process, for our society, and definitely for politics. Because them crooked dems, they will use whatever they can. Racism, sexism, homophobia, you name it. All the other phobias. I'm sure they're going to come up with some new phobias next year. But we have to be wise when dealing with this issue. So, yes, Al Franken, John Conyers, they was dead weight, threw them out the boat, and unfortunately took one for the team. But I guarantee you, when the election times comes up, the white hats are going to come out. Yes, they still have all of their sexual assaulters in their cabinet. And look, they support them, but not us. Not us. No, we got rid of ours immediately. Yeah, don't buy it. Anyway, this is Kevin at Kevin's Corner. If you like this video, hit like, make sure you share it, subscribe, pass it along, and also look me up on other social media networks. And if you want to donate to Kevin's Corner, feel free. There are links in the bottom. Please do. It really helps me out. So God bless. Let's continue to make America great.